leguminous nitrogen fixing bacteria as a bacteria with a very close relationship with leguminous plants. No, it's a symbiosis because this bacteria would fix the um, inert molecule, the N2, making it available for the plants to absorb in the form of nitrates. And at the same time, the bacteria is happy because it is nasa home being hosted by the leguminous plants. Then, of course, also we have the cyanobacteria, which help fertilize the wetlands. For example, the rice paddies and some type of ecosystems that are considered as wetlands. So naana sila yung mga cyanobacteria that help fertilize the wetlands. This one is an example of leguminous plant. Nanayabad na siya mga nodes, kani. And of course, we are familiar with this because it's similar to peanuts. Peanuts is a leguminous plant as well, and it's very common in the Philippines. Okay, here the we already described that in the graph, but as an iteration, we have the nitrification. The nitrification is the transformation of ammonium into nitrites and then into nitrates as well by the bacteria and the archaea. Then we have assimilation, absorption, no? Absorption of um, these organic nitrogen compounds and consumed and then further consumed by the plant. So when you say assimilation, it's a general term, eating, absorbing nutrients into the body of the organism taking in that nitrogen, that form of nitrogen, just nitrates. But as a component of the plant, there are several forms there. Pwede man gud siyang part of the nucleic acid or for the DNA of the plant. So na nitrogen sad na siya absorbed by the one eating. So it becomes part of the body as well and constructing different molecules, proteins, nucleic acids, DNA, and so on and so forth. Then that's part of the process of assimilation. Then ammonification, mentioned already, that decomposers convert organic nitrogen from the waste or dead organisms into NH form, no? The ammonium. And then denitrification, no? Denitrifying bacteria, converting now the nitrates back into N2 gas, the inert gas N2, and then returns to the atmosphere. Then you also have sedimentation, and you also have the uplift. Marine nitrogen accumulates in sediments and return to land via the plate uplift. So important part ang geologic processes of this. So those geologic processes are part of the long-term portion of this cycle. Okay. Now, human impacts. We have the fossil fuel combustion. As mentioned, katong mga reserves, no? The fossil carbons, no, that we have extracted through kanang technology like the Middle East, the US, and there are many other who are actually uh, who are having big reserve of fossil carbons, extracting that and selling that, transporting to other countries, and burning through industries, through cars, and different kinds of processes that actually would um, emit a lot of CO2. As mentioned earlier, earlier in as of 2020, um, we have produced around 413 gigatons of pure carbon back into the atmosphere. And so the impact, climate change, no? Climate change, increase of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is hugely contributory to that fact. Then the next one is fertilizer use. No, katong industrial processes, producing a lot of urea or fertilizers composed of nitrogen, no, practically producing input around 90 million no, tons of nitrogen per year. And then Because of this, especially the use of fertilizer in the agricultural farms, and during heavy see, even irrigation is part of that. Um, During precipitation, heavy rainfall, so more runoff siya, no, flush leaching of this nitrogen into the water. Now you have the term eutrophication. Eutrophication is basically um, depositing a high amount of organic materials, including these materials that contain a lot of nitrogen, and because of the nutrient rich runoff from the agriculture, then it results into algal blooms. And daghan kay mo grow mga algae. And of course, when in the process of the production, there is high utilization of oxygen from the water, and so the water be depleted with oxygen, and we know that fishes and other life forms also need oxygen, and so it results into the loss of aquatic life. So that's basically the situation that we can actually observe in many of the bodies of water in even in Cebu, in the Philippines. That's basically globally, particularly on areas that have high urbanization. No? So eutrophication is amongst the worst impacts of a lot of high um, fertilizer production containing nitrogen. Once you can water rich enrichment ng good na siya, then it will cause algal blooms. Then the algal blooms, when the, the process of growth, and at the same time the process of decomposition of the algae from the water, it will use up a lot of oxygen, and it results into the depletion of oxygen and results into the loss of aquatic life. Okay, so here, as you can see, on ang agriculture, vast lands of agriculture will require a lot of fertilizers. And then if you notice, usahay ka ng mga anak na dili kay tagas ang plants, it will wash off a lot of organic materials from the land through heavy rainfall and uban through irrigation. And then of course, rainfall irrigation, usually man good sa flow niya, it will somehow go or end to the rivers and the oceans. So yun din eutrophication. And then sa phosphorus cycle, we can talk about this tomorrow. Okay, because it's 4:31, and any questions so far? At least ugma.